Here's some things you don't want to hear, but you need to. Okay guys, this video is going to be ugly, but it needs to be said. You know, we prep for a lot of things, weather and whatnot. I'm not going to go through them all. Something I'm prepping for, and I think a lot of you should be, is homelessness. Yeah, that's right. You heard it. Right now you're going, what? Did he just say homelessness? Yeah, I did. Okay? Because listen, these prices, housing prices, rent costs, food, yada, 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 aren't going down. Okay? They're not. We know that. And eventually, we're going to run out of hours to sell in order to just try to maintain, right? Just try to scratch by. And it's coming. Wages are not going to go up enough to make this sustainable. Okay, you've seen the report that came out last couple of days that said in order to have the same buying power now as the minimum wage had in the 70s, right? So when I was a kid, and probably a lot of you too. A lot of people that watch my videos are in about the same age bracket, so a lot of you are in the same boat. The minimum wage should be $66 an hour. That's the minimum wage. Not the average wage. That's what the minimum wage should be to keep up with the inflation over the last 50 years. Anybody making anywhere close to that? Hey, if you are, great. I'm happy for you. I am, seriously. Because I don't want everybody to be in the same boat. But I'm not. And every month, like most of you, we scrape by. And then the powers that be go, oh, you made it this month? All right, well, since you made it this month, we're going to, raise your rent a little bit. Raise your grocery prices a little bit. Raise your electric bill a little bit. We'll see how you do next month. Next month comes around, we do the same thing. We scrape by. Same thing happens, right? Something goes up. Most things go up. And this is just going to continue on. And eventually, you're not going to make it anymore, right? So, I am prepping to not have a structure by next summer. I don't want you, oh no, that's terrible, yada yada. No, that's not my point, okay? And it's not that we couldn't hold on a little longer. It's that why? Why, why? Why hand out all of our money when we don't have to? Right? We're just going to get a canvas, a big canvas, 12-month term, and downsize everything we can. And boy, everybody's dog wants to bark at us today. For sustainability, okay? That way maybe we'll have a little extra money to stock up on some things and make life a little easier. And I think a lot of us are going to be in the same boat. I think a lot of you right now are doing the same thing, scraping by, trying to put a little bit of stuff back as you can, a few cans of food here and there, whatever. It's not going to get better. Like I said, when have you ever seen prices go down? Prices don't go down. When have you ever seen housing go down? It doesn't go down. When's the last time your rent went down? Probably never. I also saw a study that said in 1995, so 30 years ago, the average income was $34,400 a year. You could get a new car for $15,000. Now, you know, it wasn't a Mercedes or something, but you could get a brand new car for $15,000. A mode of transportation that was brand new off of the assembly line. Your average house cost just under $80,000. So, you know, you could get by, right? Now, the average income is $74,000. So, is that double? Yeah, a little bit more than double. But your average home price is $416,000. So that's a little over 4.5 times what it was 30 years ago. Your income hasn't went up 4.5 times. We don't even want to talk about car prices. Did you see the new F-350s? They stock a lot of those in my area because of the farmland, right? So, you know, farm people need a big heavy-duty pickup truck to, you know, use on the farm, right? I looked at one the other day just because I was curious. And, yeah, it had a few extra bells and whistles. It wasn't just a stripped-down version. $160,000. Holy cow. For a pickup truck. Heavy-duty pickup truck. It wasn't just an F-150. It was an F-350. You know, the big heavy-duty farm truck. Work truck. Whatever you want to call it. I didn't look at the F-150s. I should do that, but I didn't. But they sell a lot of those around here, so they stock them because, like I said, farm area, people buy them, you know. And that's crazy. $160,000 for a pickup truck. I've bought 2 houses I didn't pay $160,000 for. Nice houses, not, you know, not dumps. All right, I got to hit pause for a minute. Okay, I'm back. Somebody was playing music loud while they were working outside, and you know how YouTube is about copyright infringement. They'd have freaked out. So I figured I'd better shut it off till I got out of the sound of the music. So, but yeah, that's what we're prepping for. Because I'm not playing the game anymore. I'm done. I am done playing this game of, you know, try to hang on. No, I'm not doing it anymore. Not enough. And I think a lot of you are in the same boat. So yeah, you should start prepping for life outside of the home. Save up some money if you can. Get yourself a 4-month tent. Find a place to put it that you know, you're not going to get arrested for or whatever. Because this is what we're unfortunately this is what we're coming to, right? This is what we're coming to, where your average person is going to be homeless. Not because they want to be, because they have no choice. Because what's going to happen by next year? Well, let's see, your rent's going to go up again. You know, food prices go up monthly. Every month there's an increase. Oh, well, you know, this happened, that happened, yada, yada, yada. Tariffs, they blame a lot of stuff on tariffs. Some of it probably is a tariff, so whatever. But so this is just going to keep going and going and going and going and going. And there's going to be people that are going to hang on way too long. And then they're going to be in big trouble. So I try to look ahead. I'm not going to hang on and make myself destitute. Hi, kitty. Pretty little baby kitty. When I can get out now and maybe have a few bucks left over at the end of the month, you know. Reba, do you need to steal their water? Go on, that's the kitty's water. Come on. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. No, I get it. I mean, it's hard to let go, you know. we've lived our lives the way we have for all this time, and it's all crumbling on down through no fault of our own. Most of us are making as much or more money than we ever had, and we don't have two pennies to rub together. And not because we're out buying luxury items and eating out every day. And I mean, you know, maybe you are. I don't know. I'm not. We eat out maybe once a week, and we need to stop doing that. So it's just the way life is now. I don't know how to fix this. I don't really see a fix possible because, like I said, the prices are never going to go down. Prices have never went down. They're not going to go down now. These big corporations aren't going to all of a sudden get sympathetic and say, oh, well, you know what? We don't need this much money. We'll lower the prices. You think that's going to happen? I got some oceanfront property here in Ohio to sell you, too. Nice beachfront. You'll like it. Same thing with the housing market. You know, the housing market does go down once in a while, but never near as much as it went up during the process. So houses are still going to be ridiculous even if the housing market comes down a little bit. Wages? Let's see. We just discussed that your wages have doubled in 30 years, but yet the cost of everything's went up a lot more than double. So to get to that $66 an hour that they say is what the minimum wage should be, it's going to take another 60 years. Okay, maybe another 30 years. By then it'll need to be, you know, $200 an hour or whatever. So the wages aren't keeping up, and they're never going to keep up. You know, your company, your boss, not your boss, the people in the hierarchy, way in the hierarchy, right? They're going, oh, well, you know, we'll do these guys a favor. We'll give them 25 cents an hour. Wow, man. After taxes, that $28 a month is really making a big difference. Crazy, ain't it? But it's the world we live in. So you should be prepping to be homeless, okay? Don't hang on until it's too late, okay? Don't hang on until you're buried in credit card debt and you're just to the point where there's just no other options. Because then you're just going to be in worse shape, right? Yeah, you know what? People don't want to hear this. I know you don't want to hear this. But we got to do something. Can't keep going like we're going. I don't see a reasonable solution as far as making things better. So that's where we're at. And like I said, I'm not looking for sympathy. I don't want, oh no, OVP. No. This is a choice thing, okay? This is not, like I said, we could hang on longer, but I don't see a point. So, and I don't want you guys to hang on until it's too late. You know, like I said, people are going to bury themselves in credit card debt and everything else just to try to maintain. And then it's going to be too late. They're going to dig themselves a hole that they'll never get out of. You know, this way, maybe at least get out of this hole one day. So, hey guys, keep prepping. Keep your head on a swivel. The world's a dumpster fire. Don't wait for SHTF to happen, because it's not going to wait for you. Have a good day, y'all. We'll see you next time.